His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa issued Decree 61 of 2025 restructuring the Social Insurance Organization, the SIO, based on a proposal of the Minister of Finance and National Economy and following the approval of the Cabinet. The Social Insurance Organization shall be recognized or reorganized as follows. The Board of Directors, followed by the Chief Executive Officer, followed by first, the Actuarial and Risk Management Directorate, second, the Legal Affairs and Inspection Directorate, third, the Communication and Awareness Directorate, fourth, Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Insurance Affairs with the rank of Assistant Under Secretary, followed by Registration and Contributions Directorate, Insured Services Directorate, fifth, Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Operations with the rank of Assistant Under Secretary, followed by Financial Operations Directorate and Resources and Services Directorate, Insurance Information Directorate. Sixth, Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Retiree Affairs with the rank of Assistant Under Secretary, reporting to Retiree Benefits and Pensions Directorate, Retiree Services Directorate. Decree 79 of 2019 regulating the Social Insurance Organization is hereby repealed. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received the gift from Russian President Vladimir Putin, consisting of 2 rare Siberian falcons, both of the Ger falcon species, in appreciation of the strong fraternal relations between His Majesty and the President, and in furthering friendship ties between Bahrain and Russia. The gift was handed over to His Majesty at Safaria Palace by the Ambassador of Russia to Bahrain, Alexei Skoserev, accompanied by the head of the International Cooperation and Climate Change Department of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Ecology of Russia, Ivan Alexandrovich Kush, and the Director General of the Kamchatka Falconry Center in Russia, Shu Khairat Rozhokov, upon their visit to the kingdom. They conveyed to His Majesty the greetings and appreciation of the Russian President and his sincere wishes of further growth and prosperity for Bahrain, while His Majesty conveyed his greetings and best wishes to the President and the Russian people for continued development and progress. His Majesty expressed thanks and appreciation to the President for the valuable gift and for his role in supporting the historic relations and developing joint cooperation. His Majesty emphasized the depth of the close bilateral relations and the shared desire to strengthen and expand them in all areas to achieve the aspirations of both countries and their peoples. For their part, the Russian ambassador and the 2 Russian officials expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty for the warm welcome and generous hospitality they received. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa extended congratulations to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa on the kingdom's achievement of securing first place in the 2025 Microsoft Showcase Schools program. Achieved by the Ministry of Education, the program is organized by Microsoft with the participation of schools from around the world. His Royal Highness affirmed that this international recognition reflects Bahrain's unwavering commitment to advancing programs that boost educational institutions and promote innovation, creativity and excellence. His Royal Highness noted the kingdom's concerted efforts to harness modern technology in advancing education. By integrating digital solutions into the learning process, teachers and students are empowered to leverage innovative tools that improve the quality of educational outcomes and further enhance Bahrain's global position in digital education. His Royal Highness emphasized the importance of investing in Bahraini youth through the adoption of advanced educational technologies to nurture a generation equipped with the knowledge and skills to meet contemporary demands and drive comprehensive development. His Royal Highness further commended the Ministry of Education and the Kingdom's dedicated educational workforce, whose unwavering commitment has been pivotal to this achievement. 125 public schools and 5 private schools in Bahrain, a total of 130 schools, have been awarded the title of Microsoft Technology Incubator Schools. The competition included 954 schools from 60 countries worldwide, with Bahraini schools achieving the highest international score. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with His Holiness Pope Leo XIV. The meeting took place as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to the Vatican and Italy. His Royal Highness affirmed the Kingdom's commitment under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to boosting bilateral relations with the Vatican and fostering the values of tolerance and coexistence around the world. His Royal Highness underscored the importance of enhancing joint coordination and broadening cooperation across diverse fields to realize shared strategic aspirations. His Royal Highness also conveyed the greetings and best wishes of His Majesty the King to His Holiness, expressing hopes for the Vatican's enduring prosperity. His Holiness reciprocated with greetings to His Majesty, along with his wishes for Bahrain's continued progress and prosperity. His Royal Highness affirmed Bahrain's commitment to the values of mutual respect and its dedication to defending religious freedom and upholding the right to worship. His Royal Highness highlighted that the strong presence of mosques, churches and temples in Bahrain embodies the kingdom's spirit of peace and harmony, as well as its historic commitment to openness and dialogue among civilizations and cultures. His Royal Highness outlined the leading role of the Vatican in promoting religious coexistence and understanding and advancing global solidarity between faiths. His Royal Highness expressed appreciation for the efforts of His Holiness in advancing the values of coexistence and the promotion of tolerance, compassion and peace, and wished him continued health and success in his noble humanitarian endeavors. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Vatican Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin. The meeting took place as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to the Vatican and Italy. His Royal Highness highlighted Bahrain's unwavering commitment to the upholding of values of tolerance, coexistence and intercultural dialogue and principles championed by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness affirmed the importance of bolstering bilateral relations between Bahrain and the Vatican, advancing shared aspirations, furthering the values of coexistence and promoting global peace and stability. His Royal Highness also outlined that Bahrain, with its rich cultural heritage and strong international ties, has built bridges of communication and cooperation that have fostered development and growth across multiple key sectors and will continue to pursue these efforts. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. The relations between Bahrain and the Vatican reflect the kingdom's approach, led by His Majesty the King, for placing human values at the heart of its international relations. More in this report.
The relations between Bahrain and the Vatican represent a pioneering model of cooperation based on shared noble human values and principles, aimed at promoting a culture of dialogue between religions and cultures as established by the vision of His Majesty the King, and with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, in making the kingdom a regional and global beacon of human peace and civilizational understanding. The royal visit of His Majesty the King to the Vatican in November 1999, where he met with the late Pope John Paul II, came to embody His Majesty's vision of building bridges of communication and cooperation between the East and the West. His Majesty's visit to the Vatican in May 2014 at the invitation of His Holiness Pope Francis confirmed the depth of relations and the expansion of areas of dialogue and cooperation.
إن مملكة البحرين تفعيلا لدورها في الإسهام الفاعل نحو هذه الأهداف النبيلة لخير البشرية والأخاء الإنساني تؤكد دوما على أهمية الشراكة الدولية التي تعتمد الحوار الدبلوماسي والسبل السلمية كمدخل لإنهاء الحروب والنزاعات، وتنتهج سبل التآخي والتفاهم واحترام سيادة الدول وحسن الجوار وعدم التدخل في شؤونها الداخلية.
The Kingdom of Bahrain is committed to researching and appreciating its past, which is an ancient land to which for millennia people have been drawn by its beauty due to heavenly being. The ancient kingdom of Dilmun was called the Land of the Living. Going back to the roots of time, something approximate 4,500 years of uninterrupted human presence, it is evident that the geographical location, the people predisposition and adaptability, as well as certain historical facts, have given Bahrain the opportunity to be a confluence of mutual enrichment for peoples. One aspect, therefore, stands out. This land has always been a meeting place for different peoples.
In November 2022, at the gracious invitation of His Majesty the King, His Holiness Pope Francis, the late Pope of the Vatican, made a historic visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain, during which he met with His Majesty and participated in the Bahrain Dialogue Forum East and West for Human Coexistence, in a move that reinforced Bahrain's position as a global center for dialogue, rapprochement, and tolerance. His Majesty the King also visited the Vatican in October 2023, during which he reviewed efforts to promote peace and religious coexistence and the continuation of joint cultural projects, including cooperation between the King Hamad Digital Library and the Vatican Apostolic Library. In the context of visits between the two sides, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister also visited the Vatican in February 2020, where he met with the late Pope Francis. His Royal Highness expressed Bahrain's appreciation for the Pope's efforts to promote understanding and spread human values that bring together different religions and civilizations. In addition, the kingdom officially participated in the inauguration ceremony of Pope Leo XIV, with a delegation headed by the Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, amidst a large international presence. The relations between Bahrain and the Vatican are not limited to diplomatic representation and official visits, but rather a well-established approach that makes human values the basis for cooperation and embodies the kingdom's contribution to international efforts to spread a culture of peace, human fraternity, and tolerance among all peoples.
A message from the Pope to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of Bahrain. As I depart from Rome at the conclusion of my apostolic journey, I once again express my gratitude for the hospitality extended to me during my stay in your country, and I renew the assurance of my prayers for your Majesty and all in the kingdom. Pope Francis.
His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Italian President of the Council of Ministers, Giorgia Meloni, at Palazzo Chigi in Rome as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to Italy. His Royal Highness underscored the depth of Bahrain-Italy relations, which continue to strengthen under the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness highlighted the commitment of both countries to further advance their partnership across diverse fields in support of growth and prosperity that will benefit both nations and their peoples. He outlined the importance of deepening the strategic partnership across all levels, creating new opportunities aligned with the shared aims and objectives of both countries.
Stendardo del Reggimento Lancieri di Montebello, banda dell'Arma Trasporti e Materiali e reparto d'onore pronti per la rassegna.
His Royal Highness commended Italy's role in promoting regional and global security and peace, noting that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, remains steadfast in its efforts to secure peace and advance the values of tolerance, coexistence and dialogue globally. He emphasized the importance of the agreements, MOUs and declarations to be signed during the visit, stating that they reflect tangible strides in advancing bilateral relations to consolidate existing partnerships and advance new areas of cooperation. In the presence of His Royal Highness, a strategic investment and collaboration partnership, the SIP, was signed between Bahrain's Ministry of Finance and National Economy and the Italian Ministry of Enterprises and Made in Italy. The SIP was signed on behalf of Bahrain by the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and on behalf of Italy by the Minister of Enterprises and Made in Italy, Adolfo Osso. During the official visit, the following was announced. Cooperation in the field of space science, technology and applications between the Bahrain Space Agency and the Italian Space Agency. Enhancing cooperation and developing customs work mechanisms, customs control and customs chain protection between the Customs Affairs Department in Bahrain and the Customs and Monopolies Agency in Italy. During the meeting, both parties discussed ways to further consolidate the Bahrain-Italy partnership across all fields, in addition to the latest regional and international developments and issues of common interest. For her part, Meloni commended the leadership of His Majesty the King in advancing cooperation, stability and peace in the region and beyond. She also welcomed the visit of His Royal Highness, noting that it reflects the shared commitment and mutual interest in enhancing Bahraini-Italian relations in pursuit of common goals and aspirations. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. In line with His Majesty the King's commitment to boost relations between Bahrain and Italy, and as part of the official visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to the Vatican and Italy, several agreements were signed between Bahrain and Italy. The Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and the Deputy Minister of Enterprise and Made in Italy, Valentino Valentini, witnessed the signing of the following. A framework collaboration agreement on cooperation in investments signed between Bahrain Mumtalakat Holding Company and Invest Industrial. The agreement was signed on behalf of Bahrain by the CEO of Mumtalakat, Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and on behalf of Italy by the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Invest Industrial, Andrea Bonomi. An agreement on a bilateral banking partnership in the fields of trade and investment was signed between the National Bank of Bahrain, the MBB, and Banco BPM. The agreement was signed on behalf of Bahrain by MBB Chairperson of the Board of Directors, Hala Yatim, and on behalf of Italy by Banco BPM Chairperson of the Board of Directors, Massimo Tononi. An agreement of the Italian-Bahraini Business Council to enhance bilateral cooperation and trade partnerships, signed on the Bahraini side by the co-chairman of the Italian-Bahraini Business Council, Khalid Rashid Izzayani, and on the Italian side by the co-chairman of the Italian-Bahraini Business Council, Ignazio Moncada. These agreements aim to enhance the strategic partnership between Bahrain and Italy by expanding avenues of cooperation and creating new economic and investment opportunities that support the shared aspirations of both countries. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Izzayani, and several senior officials were also present. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with a business delegation which included senior officials from several commercial companies as well as the private sector from Italy as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to the Vatican and Italy. His Royal Highness highlighted the strength of the relations between Bahrain and Italy and underscored the shared commitment to build upon the partnership. He commended the growth of bilateral relations across all fields, particularly in the economic and commercial sectors, reiterating the importance of the strategic partnership. His Royal Highness noted that this partnership has created extensive opportunities, enhanced joint investments, and fostered development initiatives that benefit both nations and their peoples. He noted that the next phase will see increased cooperation, paving the way for innovative investment projects that support economic growth and prosperity for both countries. During the meeting, the two sides also discussed several topics of mutual interest, including the latest developments in the global economy and their impact on investment and trade, with a view to enhancing joint coordination to address challenges and create future opportunities. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. Bahrain-Italy relations are witnessing remarkable development thanks to the continued interest of the two countries' leadership and their ongoing efforts to promote bilateral cooperation. More in this report.
The Bahrain-Italy relations date back decades and have been strengthened by mutual visits between senior leaders and officials of the two countries, which have carried tangible political and strategic messages. Among these visits, we recall the official visit of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to Italy in 2023, which included several meetings with senior Italian officials, confirming the dimensions of the relationship that go beyond political and economic interests to include high-level religious and cultural dialogue channels. Furthermore, the visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to Italy in 2020 was of particular importance in the course of the Bahrain-Italy relations, as it confirmed the strength of political and diplomatic ties between the two countries. In return, the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni paid an official visit to Bahrain 2025, during which she met with His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, marking a shift in the level of relations between the two countries. Based on the principle of coexistence among followers of different religions and cultures, which Bahrain has adopted as its approach under the prosperous reign of His Majesty the King, the King Hamad Chair in Interfaith Dialogue and Coexistence was inaugurated at the Sapienza University of Rome in 2018. In terms of economic cooperation, Italy is one of the kingdom's main trading partners, and figures show that the volume of trade between the two countries has increased significantly in recent years, with many Italian companies seeking to invest in Bahrain taking advantage of the encouraging investment environment. With all these factors in place, the future will witness further cooperation in broader areas, contributing to the progress and advancement of both countries.
The Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Qudaibiya Palace. In line with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's affirmation that Bahraini citizens are at the forefront of the kingdom's development plans, the cabinet followed up on the special procedures to implement the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa to offer 3 job opportunities to every registered Bahraini employment applicant before the end of the year. The cabinet expressed pride in His Majesty's recognition of the meeting held between the Minister of Interior and Chairman of the Ministerial Committee for the follow-up on the national plan to promote national belonging and reinforce citizenship values. General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa and the residents of Muharraq Governorate. The cabinet expressed its appreciation to the residents of Muharraq for their contributions and unwavering loyalty demonstrated during the meeting. The cabinet then followed on His Majesty's royal order to develop Muharraq, a program that will assist in the preservation of its heritage and historical identity. The cabinet affirmed the kingdom's ongoing economic progress in line with its comprehensive development led by His Majesty the King. This progress was highlighted during the Bahrain Economic Development Board meeting chaired by His Royal Highness, which reviewed the economic outcomes from the first 9 months of 2025. These outcomes include the attraction of $1.52 billion in direct investments from 75 local and international projects. These cumulative investments are projected to generate over 4,300 jobs within 3 years. On World Teachers' Day, the cabinet extended their best wishes to Bahrain's teachers, noting the vital role they play in preparing the next generation to participate effectively in the kingdom's future development. The cabinet welcomed the awarding of the ICAO Council President's Certificate, one of the most prestigious international distinctions in civil aviation, noting that this achievement reflects Bahrain's commitment to advancing the civil aviation sector and bolstering safety and security standards. The cabinet welcomed the signing of an agreement to establish a headquarters for the International Dates Council in the kingdom, affirming Bahrain's commitment to agriculture and afforestation, including palm cultivation and date production. The cabinet then approved the following memorandums. 2 memoranda submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding amendments to several unified laws among the GCC countries. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a memorandum of understanding between the University of Bahrain and the King Faisal Center for Research and Islamic Studies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Sustainable Development regarding Bahrain's preparations for the 3rd voluntary national review of the Kingdom's Sustainable Development Goals in 2026. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the government's response to several draft laws and proposals submitted by the Council of Representatives. The cabinet also noted the following ministerial reports. The outcomes of the first Bahrain Veterinary Conference and Exhibition 2025. The outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the Climate Summit held within the 80th session of the UN General Assembly. the outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the Dubai World Congress for Self-Driving Transport 2025, the outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the high-level meeting to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the World Programme of Action for Youth during the 80th session of the UN General Assembly, the external participations of various ministers, as well as visits by foreign ministers to the Kingdom of Bahrain in October 2025. Muharraq is witnessing a new beginning that reflects its place in the national conscience, with royal directives confirming its continued development in a way that preserves its cultural authenticity and enhances its historical depth. More in this report.
Muharraq holds a special place in the national consciousness, as it is a city of identity, history, and a symbol of loyalty and belonging. His Majesty the King issued royal directives to continue developing the city in a way that preserves its cultural authenticity and enhances its historical depth. The project focuses on building modern cities that take into account the aspirations of citizens and provide them with the essentials for a dignified life, while ensuring the sustainability of national achievements for future generations. His Majesty stressed the importance of accelerating the implementation of housing projects in Muharraq so that it remains a haven for its citizens, and tasked the Governor of Muharraq with coordinating with various government agencies to implement the plans according to the specified timelines. His Majesty the King praised the government's efforts in implementing this national project, commending the determination to provide the best housing and development services, and affirming that Muharraq, like other cities in Bahrain, is receiving significant attention from development projects in various fields, including housing, health, education, and others. In accordance with these directives, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister oversees a comprehensive plan to preserve the historical and cultural identity of Bahrain's cities and develop the city of Muharraq within the framework of a government approach based on quality and team spirit, and strengthening partnerships between various public and private sector institutions, thereby ensuring the achievements of accomplishments that serve the interests of the kingdom and its citizens. The Minister of Interior praised the city during his meeting with the people of Muharraq, stressing that it has a high national status and carries a distinguished history and heritage. The Muharraq City Development Project is manifested as an integrated national project based on royal guidance, government follow-up, and strong public support. It reflects Bahrain's ability to combine tradition and modernity and to consolidate national identity in a sustainable development path that fulfills the aspiration of the present and the prospects of the future within the Kingdom's Vision 2030.
ونوجه هنا بوضع خطة عمل تختص بالمحافظة على الهوية التاريخية والثقافية لمباني ومدن البحرين، وسنعمل في سياق ذلك على إحياء قصر عيسى الكبير الذي سنعتمده كأحد المقار الرئيسية لعملنا، ومعها الأحياء المعروفة بمدينة المحرم التي نتطلع إلى عودة أهلها لها تكريما لذلك المجد الوطني المشهود في وطن الطيبة والكرامة.
The chairman of the Supreme Council of Health, Lieutenant General Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, inaugurated a specialized clinic for newborn hearing screening at Salmaniya Medical Complex. The inauguration of the clinic underscores Bahrain's commitment to enhancing child health care and ensuring that newborns benefit from early detection services in line with international best practices. The initiative is part of broader efforts to safeguard children's healthy development from the very earliest stages of life. The service is an important milestone in advancing pediatric care in Bahrain, raising the quality of services provided and ensuring access to appropriate treatment. It also supports Bahrain's drive to achieve its health-related sustainable development goals. Bahrain's delegation participated in the International Astronautical Congress 2025 in Australia under the theme Sustainable Space, a Resilient Earth. The delegation included representatives from the Ministry of Tourism, headed by the Minister of Tourism Fatma Serafi, representatives from the Shura Council, headed by Second Deputy Chairperson of the Council, Dr. Jihad Al-Fadl, representatives from the Bahrain Space Agency, headed by its COO, Dr. Muhammad Al-Asiri, and Exhibition World Bahrain. The Bahraini participation included a special pavilion reflecting Bahrain's international reputation and advanced position in the fields of innovation and knowledge. The pavilion showcased the most prominent milestones in Bahrain's education, innovation and space journey, as well as Bahrain's success in launching the first national satellite Al-Mundhir, which was developed entirely by Bahrainis. The pavilion also highlighted Bahrain's legislative and tourism infrastructure and attractions, along with its modern and advanced facilities. The Shura and Representatives Councils concluded the third Arab Forum for Parliamentary Media in cooperation with Gulf University and the Arab Administrative Development Organization affiliated with the Arab League under the title Parliamentary Media in the Age of AI, Ensuring Credibility and Creating Impact. The second day of the forum included two workshops, with the first workshop addressed the use of AI tools in election campaigns, while the second highlighted the topic of institutional communication and crisis management in election and media campaigns. The directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to the Ministry of Labour to offer 3 job opportunities to every registered Bahraini employment applicant before the end of the year are at the top of the Kingdom's priorities and at the core of its development and goals plans. More in this report.
As part of efforts to boost the job market and promote economic development, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister instructed the Ministry of Labour to offer 3 job opportunities to every registered Bahraini employment applicant before the end of the year, with the aim of expanding job opportunities for citizens and making them the first choice in the job market. These directives come within the framework of His Majesty the King's vision to secure suitable job opportunities for the citizens, which is one of the most important priorities and development goals adopted by Bahrain. Immediately after the issuance of the directives of His Royal Highness, the relevant authorities, including the Ministry of Labour, began implementing measures in cooperation with the private sector. This ensures that citizens' aspirations are quickly met and enhances their contribution as key partners in building a more competitive and sustainable economy. This employment initiative reflects the government's clear vision of making Bahraini citizens the focus and primary goal of development, continuously addressing the needs of society, foremost among which is employment, and enabling national talent to quickly integrate into the labor market. It also enhances the ability of young people to embark on productive and sustainable career paths to continue the comprehensive development process pursued by the Kingdom of Bahrain.